BDS look like the best team in the world right now. After a devastating loss in the Atlanta Major quarterfinals, the formerly French squad is back with a vengeance. With two hot new pickups in Yuzis and Solotov, they came in and tore up the European League with a 7-1 record. They've managed to keep this momentum going into playoffs, but they aren't playing any slouches. After a rough start to the stage, ITB have been executing their opponents with a super fast-paced, aggressive style that is leaving teams shell-shocked. BDS have just been the victims of this, losing their own map pick of Border 2-7. But they aren't about to just lay down and let ITB have it. With the Blast European League playoffs on the line, they're about to put on a Clubhouse attacking masterclass, showing just how good a super team can truly be. ITB are running a variation of what is known in the comp community as an SSG roam. Named after the team which popularized it, an SSG roam is designed to allow teams to fight for control of large parts of the map, all while ensuring the roamers have a safe route protected by their teammates to fall back to site. The benefits of this play is that the roamers have players playing link spots, which prevents them from getting cut off, but it often leaves the site very vulnerable to a rush. Clearing an SSG roam often takes a long time, and if the defense plays it right, they shouldn't give up any picks. This often leaves the attack in a position of having low time, low utility, and no man count advantage in order to trade out on their execute. It's a very powerful strategy when it's played right, and is hard for the attack to deal with. BDS opt to fight directly into the link player. Kendra is playing inside of stock, guarding control of this hatch. This part of the map serves as a fall off for the bandit and CC, so if Kenny dies, BDS can pretty easily convert their advantage into a 5v3. They identify this weakness within 30 seconds and immediately move to take the fight.
And RTB especially starting on the defense. They're going to be the ones that take the early advantage. Kendrick getting aggressive, and he continues his performance on defense. Shako and Leakify get sat down in the first 30 seconds. What a start from RTB.
It doesn't matter though, because Kendra manages to outduel Shaiko and Likefak. By winning two crucial fights, he gives his team the advantage and gives Noah the chance to get away. But BDS are so fast at reading gaps, and Solotov has already claimed the space Kendra left, while in the chaos, Yuzis has started making a sneaky play down the main stairs.
Kendra casually 1v2ing Shaiko and Leakifak. You know, two of the best players in the world, like it's no bother at all. I think Kenny really wants to go for that King Kenny spot. Solotov going to find Noah at least on the rotate back in towards sight from that hatch. A small mistake being made there, and Yuzu's trying to snake his way through, right sort of idea. There is a player inside of Moto, but can he deal with him? Oh no, the sound effect going to give him away here as well, and rightly so.
BDS are playing so aggressive, and if Yuzis hadn't made noise by brushing against the electric wall, would probably have equalized to a 3 versus 3. Even so, trading back to a 3v4 while having almost 2 full minutes left in the round gives them a lot of options. Let's see how they play it out.
Itching to get that out and chuck it skyward towards someone pushing in. Normally from main stairs, you'd see, not that he needs to worry about it here. They found him inside the Moto for free, and the last two players now coming in from blue. It's a little bit of a death box being set up for BDS as ITB have got them cornered in. Azza finds one. Solotov, the last left standing with 10 HP.
What a weird round. Despite all the time on the clock, BDS opt to funnel blue and main stairs, trying to collapse onto Church. ITB shut them down at the chokes and managed to hold onto the round. But BDS's aggression still took them unbelievably close. This game might be shaping up to be a brawl. ITB make their way to defend gym and bedroom on the top floor. This site plays out a lot differently than the basement, with teams extending horizontally to defend CCTV, making it impossible for attackers to play on highway for fear of getting peeked from the CC window. In order to deal with this, BDS aim to use their util and concentrate their numbers to commit a mini execute onto CCTV and cache, forcing ITB to fall back to site before working to completely surround the site. Next, they'll hold cutoffs from the highway windows and breach to plant inside of gym. This is a very standard way of playing this attack, but the way BDS does it is so clean, they don't leave any holes for the defense to exploit. They instantly open up CC wall, cut off rafters from the roof outside CC window, enter below through stock and garage door before duo droning rafters, CC and top red. They immediately recognize an ITB player is playing red and start working to cut him off. Solotov aces open the cache wall, effectively cutting Noah's rotation back to site, while Likefak gets ready to pinch the player on red from below. Bride dumps flashes on him from breach, and BDS collapses on him, giving him no chance of surviving. After moving so quickly to get the opener, BDS immediately pumped the brakes to go into utility clearing mode. They have the Flores, 2 hard breachers, and EMPs to take chunks out of the defense's setup, so they move to surround the site and enable their final execute. They start working to clear final util to enable their collapse, but ITB are a strong team, and they know that their best chance to try to equalize the round is while BDS are reorganizing to their execute positions. Oscar tries to aggress inside of Khan, looking for a fight, but BDS don't leave anything to chance. Solotov is already redroning the space to deny any ITB retake, forcing Oscar to fall back. After Oscar's failed bit of aggression there, BDS are looking like they're in a really good spot to devastate the site. Jacuzzi open, players highway, construction, and ready to drop Logi. ITB need to find a way to relieve the pressure, but how can they? BDS is dumping utility, the site players can't move, all 3 of them just have to sit there and hope to stay alive. Wait a second. 3? Oscar is in bathroom, Creeds is in gold, and Kenny is playing below with a C4. But somehow Azur has ended up in garage? BDS have made a mistake. Azur has the potential to make a round-defining play by getting rid of BDS's highway pressure, freeing up the site players to lock down the Logi and Khan chokes. Can he do it?
Smaller and smaller defense for ITB to try and hold on to.
Oh, the C4 from below. Ready, out over the top. But users will be like, oh, what was that noise? Something in the distance. Nowhere near him. Not even going to affect the point of damage. Oh, but fires Azur through the soft wall of the garage door as well. Easy quick close out there. A couple more kills rain on through, and BDS now are going to roll over them like a tide.
Fair enough. Uses sits Azur's down before BDS finishes their util dump and puts the rest of ITB in the dirt in a flawless fashion to tie the game 1-1. That last round wasn't even close, so ITB decide to test their luck on their 3rd site, CCTV and Cache. This site is usually the weakest in the 3-site rotation, but before breaking down this round, we need to talk about bans. Clubhouse is a map which plays a lot around hard breach. Conventionally, the attack needs to open up outside walls or reinforced hatches on every site. ITB has used their bans to make that as difficult as possible. By banning out the Maverick and ensuring Bandit and Cade are both available, they're hoping to stall BDS's attacks by preventing them from getting the walls they need open. Here, this is the critical idea behind their defense. Their goal is to use the combination of the Bandit and Cade to keep the garage walls closed, while Bandit tricking the CC wall to really make BDS's hard breach player, Bride's life, a living hell. Otherwise, their setup is more or less default. Except for, did ITB just reinforce off rafters? Oh, what a cool idea. ITB know if BDS take rafters, they'll likely be out of hard breach utility and won't be able to open up any more reinforcements. They're using an open mirror window to create this line of sight from rafters, allowing them to fight cache door, breach, and CC window while still reinforcing the wall. This will likely force BDS to jump through the rafters window to attempt a plant, where the top red player will be able to swing and kill the attacker running into the default spot. I wonder how BDS are going to deal with this.
Last time around, it was Bride running around, though, on the blitz team. Here, it's going to be Solotov.
Pre-placed outro goes out from Creeds on the Cade. I'm not sure what information they've got for logistics to understand whether anybody's dropped or not, but here comes the shield. Solotov going all the way up to top wide, but losing his life to Noah. There's a second coming in behind. They did predict it, but Likafak even still able to manage to just peek his head around that handrail, find the kill, use us into sight. Kendrew down.
All right. I think that needs a proper breakdown. In the prep phase, BDS saw ITB's setup and said, no way are we dealing with all of that util. Instead, they set themselves up for an off-tempo rush play, hoping to catch ITB completely off guard. Bride and Uzis set themselves somewhat normally to engage with the bandit trick, but this is a complete bait. As they make ITB think they're playing into their hands, Shaiko starts to clear barbed wire to enable the rush as Likefak and Solotov sneak in from below. Uzis throws an EMP, signaling to ITB that BDS are trying to open the wall. But instead of staying to help Bride deal with the bandit trick, he leaves and hits a dope call to enable Solotov and Likefak pushing up red. Then, in the chaos as ITB are distracted by the blitz, he jumps in the CC window and fights the player's rafters. ITB doesn't even know what hit them. In 15 seconds, they went from slow-paced bandit tricking to having completely lost sight control with a major man count disadvantage. What a masterclass rush on the part of BDS. They've already won the round, so they slow it down to mop up the remaining players.
Able to get into sight long ahead of anything else happening. No breach is open yet. Creed, he manages to get one back. The fight is on, but Oscar, he can't do any more than down Bride, and it's going to be all up to Creeds in a 1 versus what is effectively 2, but it doesn't matter.
ITB go back to the basement bomb site. They won it pretty handedly last time, so they opt not to change anything about their actual setup, but they do make a few changes to their operator lineup to hopefully better fend off the BDS attack. They've noticed that BDS is managing to get players into unexpected places, so they bring the Wamai and Legion to get proximity alarms and goo mines to hopefully get audio cues on any attackers trying to get on a sneaky lurk. To this end, they've also brought the Solus in order to deny BDS's pre-placed cams and force them to confront the ITB roam setup directly. BDS start the round the same way as last time, aiming to cut off stock and make the roamer's life hell, unable to fall back to site. This time though, instead of fighting for the space, ITB decide to run up red and fight for CCTV. In doing so though, they leave the Wamai of Noah isolated in bar. And look at this! BDS have lurked a player inside of strip, and with one holding his cutoff from chains, one ready to fight from pool, and Solotov in stock ready to buck open the wall to apply pressure, Noah might as well be a dead man walking.
In EU, the extra 5 SI points, the bragging rights, the message that goes out ahead of them that coming into the major, BDS were nigh on unbeatable. And Solotov, he's gonna...
Wow. Genuinely just wow. BDS's coordination is incredible. Yuzis starts wallbanging to distract as Solotov opens the wall to create a line of sight through bar. Noah never stood a chance. The round isn't over yet though. And despite their advantage, ITB still have 2 pesky roamers on the top floor that will take a ton of time and energy to clear. Speaking of which, Azur and Kenny decide to react to Solotov's kill by getting aggressive on the vert. They use impacts to make holes and start looking for a refrag.
Where we're seeing that turn of either team playing incredibly well on the other team's map pick. We always love to see it, just to suggest that map 3 being that set for that decider may well prove to be pretty...
Round stabilized. ITB have battled back to equalize numbers. But what's this? Likefak is in sights? What? How? As soon as Noah died, Likefak took out his IQ scanner to see if there was any util on his main stairs walk down. He shoots the proxy on the stairs and crouch walks all the way through Moto to church. ITB doesn't have a clue. The rest of BDS funnel through blue, with the roamers being none the wiser.
Was playing a little bit hot potato with those bars, dancing in between them, and finally gets himself sniffed out. Azza hits the deck, Breeday's in. Plant is going down inside a church, and no one has a clue here. Oscar's in with a C4, but it's not going to find his man. What can he do around here? He does the right thing, but not quite going to find him yet. Gets the down, but it's still going to find 2 more. Sees the back, but can't quite find his man. It's a 3 versus 2 here. Surely ITB can clean up house. They find 1 more. Shaiko into another. They've got to bring him down to get this round closed out, Tim, and there's not a lot of time. It's a 1 versus 1 against Kenny. Can he bring down Shaiko again? Because he's done it so many times this series already.
Who else to win out a 1v3? First, it's Breedy. Now it could be Shaiko taking damage from the impact nade. He just needs to play this smart, and we know he will. As Kendry comes around the corner, Shaiko's already gone. He gets it, but just not enough time. Shaiko holds on for a second long enough, and that is going to be a successful 1v3 that puts them another round on the board. Great play from BDS.
Wow, that got a little close for comfort. ITB flooded through blue right after BDS took site and almost managed to secure the round, but Shaiko beasted it up and wins a 1v3 to lock it down in the favor of BDS. After having been bodied by BDS's site rush the last few rounds, they're again switching up their op lineup. This time, they're bringing the Mute and Solus to slow down and deny attacker drones, which they're pairing with the Capcan to punish BDS if they try to go too fast. The round starts with Creeds on the Solus off towards Garage. He's aiming to make it difficult for BDS to drone this side of the map, making it impossible for them to decisively take CCTV like the last time they attacked this site. BDS see this and say, screw this, if you're gonna fight hard for all this space, that means there's going to be weaknesses nearer to site. They start opening up the site walls and droning for gaps. Having opened jacuzzi, construction, and logistics, BDS need to do something to find an opening. They've opted not to take any map control, instead focusing on just surrounding the site. So they start dumping utility to fake and execute, while Likefak attempts a lurk through kitchen.
A common spot where you'll see defenders looking to hold down. Ooh. Looking back onto Azza. A good start on the entries, admittedly overall for BDS, and they've been going pretty strong the last 2 or 3 rounds. Creed's got the right idea.
He finds Azur in the kitchen hall and immediately runs down main stairs to prevent ITB from trading. I can't express how smart this play by Likefak is. He's aware of the threat of a player in bar and deduces that if he takes the fight, 2 different scenarios can occur. First, he takes the fight and wins. Here, BDS find themselves in a 5v3, and the round is essentially won. Obviously, this would be great for BDS, but Likefak wants to avoid the second scenario from happening. If he were to take the fight and lose, suddenly the numbers have equalized, but it's actually so much worse than that. Creeds will have free reign to either walk up main stairs to fight BDS's entry through Jacuzzi and logistics, or simply stay below and play his gadget to deny the plan. By running away and hiding, Likefak forces Creeds to stay and continue worrying about him. By simply avoiding a fight, Likefak essentially achieves the same result as getting a kill, without risking losing his life. He completely takes Creeds out of the round, allowing the rest of his team to collapse on the site players with a man and utility advantage.
A rule for BDS, and they've been going pretty strong the last 2 or 3 rounds. Creeds has got the right idea, but does he know? They know the call's there, they've heard the player. Oscar's also hit the deck. Likefak really wants to find this kill as well, because otherwise you've got Creeds charging back up main stairs. And that is not a player that you want swamping down into your backline either way. He's found himself very isolated here too. He tries to move up top, he'll find himself shut down. Good patience being shown by Likefak, and BDS are off to the races, Tim.
For their final round on defense, ITB decide once again to try Gym and Bedroom. After getting picked apart last round, they've decided to switch things up once again. They recognize that BDS have been winning by exploding into sight, giving the defense no time to react to where the push is coming from. To try to slow BDS down, ITB opt to bring back the Bandit and Cade from previous rounds. This time, however, they pair it with both the Castle and Azami to give BDS even more obstacles to clear. Again, BDS instantly read the setup. Before even a minute has passed, they've ID'd and taken free space garage and lounge, opened up the CCTV wall, and started getting info for cash. With all their util in place, they get ready to punish the extension.
Kills, it's much more about wasting time. If you can chew through 90 seconds and get out of danger, then fantastic, but you have got to be really concerned about BDS chewing you up and spitting you out before you can get anywhere near sight. And Kenny, I tell you what, it's concuss, flash, vertical damage, people pushing you on doorways. You can do absolutely nothing. BDS have well and truly bullied him out of there.
Likefak opens the floor and stuns Cash. Shaiko flashes over the wall. Yuzis shoots bees from top red. Solotov aces open the cash wall. And Kenny is begging for help, but BDS are ready even for that. Instead of focusing on the player in cash, Solotov is holding the swing from construction. This is so smart. He knows Kenny can't do anything, so he turns his attention to Kenny's help. He punishes Noah before throwing another ace charge onto the wall to guarantee Kenny's death. He swings deep and manages to find the kill onto Kenny before running away to try and get to safety. But more help has arrived from ITB. Creed swings the door and manages to get the trade onto Solotov. But BDS has help too. Shaiko is already there, swinging to help Solotov, and he manages to find the trade, stabilizing the round in a 4v2. Now that they're up numbers, the rest of the round is relatively simple. BDS set up for an execute and mop up the final 2 players.
Pocket of Bride. Newzus, out come the bees. They get stinging, Tim. They feed that information across. If anyone is playing inside of them, they are screwed. And with that, they know that Gym is clear. They don't have really any drones left to play with, just 2 available. 1 in back pocket, 1 no doubt watching the flank somewhere as well. Shaiko's going to hit the deck. Can they clutch this one out? It's starting to feel like it could build up to that.
Oscar manages to finalize that kill. They know that there's one pushing up main stairs. Asa gets caught out by Users in showers.